think short-term missions often they have, I feel, a bigger effect on the people going really than necessarily the help that we bring to wherever you are going. So it is very interesting the personal experiences people bring back from that. So I really encourage the next time you have an opportunity to go and do this and sort of get out of your comfort zone and just be challenged in how you perceive the world. And I think that happened to a lot of us. Just a bit of background, we went to support an organization called Global Evangelism Ministries. It's a mission partner of the church. And what they do is they teach, it's a Bible school for lay people. So they work through 22 books, and it's people in the mountains and people who want to teach the word, but they can't go to a full-blown Bible school. And we went to support them in their ministry, and then I specifically went to help them just with some of their admin systems and so on, because I'm geeky that way. And what was interesting is before I arrived, you may have seen me sometimes I walk around with a camera and I take pictures. Not really trained in that, but I take it, and I did offer before we went to the man who heads it, and that there, Joseph, listen, I do take pictures, so if you need help. And he was overjoyed because these students were graduating. It's the biggest group ever, 30 odd, 25, almost 30. And they didn't have a photographer. They couldn't afford a photographer, so I ended up being there. And just sort of how honored they felt that somebody was there and taking pictures of them and the poses and so on. And 13 gigs of pictures that I sent to them afterwards, and later on we met the chief of Maseru, and once again was asked to take a picture, and just how happy they felt that we gave them this concrete picture, and I was really humbled by that. The second thing was when we all visited different churches, my capacity was quite low. I have to say my energy levels were low, and I think that's the second takeaway is what you have to offer is enough. We went to a little house church, and the people were so grateful and felt so honored to have us there. And you feel embarrassed really, because you just show up and you've got, you don't have the energy that they have. But they felt so honored that we went to their house church. When we had the farewell on Thursday night, a few of them were there, and we were tired. It was a long day. It was a late dinner. We were forced into a church last minute before, just wanted to go home. And so when we said goodbye to them, it was 10 p.m. We had to leave Friday morning very, very early. And I'm like, okay, goodbye, let's get in the car. And they started weeping, and they really became emotional and saying goodbye to us. And I was really humbled just by the simple joy we brought just by being there and being an encouragement for them. And sort of my last takeaway was there were 2 pairs of shoes that I had brought with me that were actually quite worn. I thought they'd be okay. They weren't. I realized I had to say goodbye to them, and usually I just sort of throw those kind of shoes away. But the one day while we were walking in the town, I saw a man walking in extremely tattered shoes, extremely. And it made me think, okay, these shoes, someone might still want to use them. So I you kind of feel embarrassed about that, right? Like you'll throw away shoes. But anyway, I put them in bags, and at the border, when we were coming back through, I gave these bags to people who were there and rushed away because I was so embarrassed. And as we were walking to the border post, a policewoman called us, and I thought, oh, brother, something's happening. And actually, she'd stopped us to tell us, listen, it's a drive-through this side. So on the Lesotho side, it's a drive-through border, and we'd gotten out, and she said, you can climb back in your car, you don't need to walk. So she's actually helping us, and as she said goodbye, she said, I saw you gave something to the people. Thank you so much for giving us gifts. And that really, once again humbled by, you think you've nothing to offer, but what you have, maybe dare to offer it.